I think we're here.
We are. How are you?
I'm doing good. Boy, this we're pushing it here to get a May show in on May 29th.
Hey, you know what? I made it.
It
makes it.
There's rounding in what we do, right?
So. There you go. There you go. And we have also with us today a guest.
Yes, we do.
Hey, Ray. How's it going?
Hey, guys. What's happening? Good to see you all.
Yes.
So here we are with the Spring Creek Live Show for May 2025. Tony Cook here with none other than Mike and Jeff Zucker from Spring Creek Model Trains and Ray Arnott, the host of Around the Layout podcast. How is everybody doing on this wonderful day in May?
Very well.
Very, yeah. We're even getting some rain right now here in Deschler, so people around here are happy.
Right.
Excited.
They're not having to water the lawn to keep it green.
Yep. We're selling model trains. So what the
there
heck?
you go.
Right?
There you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. We got new products to look at here in a minute. And Ray is here with us because, man, I know we've been talking about this, but we're only about a little more than a month away from the 25th anniversary show. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It is so hard to believe. We're still in the try to get everything done here and get everything ready to go for the train show, but and it just keeps sneaking up on us.
You don't have any shows between?
We're on a podcast, so
are there any other shows between now and the July 5th, 6th one?
Yep. So let's see. In 2 weeks, we are heading down to Hutchinson, Kansas for a small show down there. So myself and my family are going down there for that one. And then 2 weeks after that, we are doubled up. We'll be in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then we'll also be at Kansas City for the N-Scale National. So
that's
big
right.
trailers heading to Wyoming, and then I'm taking the small trailer down to Kansas City, Overland Park, right? I think a Sheraton hotel there in Overland Park. Yeah. So it'll be a good time. N-Scale National, yep.
Yeah, wow, that's always.
And then the very following week will be our show here, July 5th and 6th, here in beautiful Deschler. So
awesome.
Yep. Hopefully the weather all holds for us, and just be a good old time. So.
Yeah.
That's about when all my traveling started. Was about a month ago. I came up to see y'all for the Fremo, and then was over in Illinois visiting family, and then down to Texas for graduation. Pamela's youngest, Nick, graduated cum laude with honors.
Oh man!
From Stephen F. Austin University in Nacogdoches, and then we went up to visit my family again in Illinois, and then up to Wisconsin to see her oldest, and then back through Illinois again, and then back down to Texas, and then I'm back. I think I put like 5,000 miles on the Lincoln and Ross.
Yeah,
man, you're gonna need a new Lincoln.
I'm telling you, I did buy new tires somewhere in the middle of all that because that was I think when I was over right after I saw you guys, I bought new tires when I was over at my folks in Illinois. So but no, lots of fun, lots of
That's awesome.
Good time of year to be out and running around. I felt like you guys. I felt like I should be at a train show and setting up and selling trains.
We could have loaded you up with a trailer. We could have.
I'm sure.
Got a few things.
Oh shoot, that's crazy. And Ray, what have you been up to?
I've been busy, very busy. Not only obviously with the podcast and of course work and some travel, and then I'm coming back from North Texas. I went down there for the Memorial Day weekend, and although it was a visit to the grandparents, I did get some rail fanning in as well. Got to expose my dad to a little bit of rail fanning, which he's really never done. And one he got to see was a massive intermodal heading by, and he just was awed by the massive size of that intermodal going by as it was heading up towards Wichita Falls on the Wichita Falls sub. And I forgot where the heck we were, somewhere near Decatur, Texas. So had a great time doing that. Took him around sights and scenes, took him over to Wabtec. They had some brand new CPKC units all ready to go. So I love that paint scheme. I think that they've done a phenomenal job with it. So got to see those and some brand new UP locomotives all rebuilt, painted, ready to go. And And of course, it's always nice to go buy the classics, right? The GE toasters, and one was very much burnt toaster, and got to see some old ones on there. The last time you'll see them before they go in and rebuilt and painted.
Right.
So fun trip to Texas, and
Cool.
with every trip, I try to mix in a little bit of rail fanning, and that, or mixing some model train stuff. Didn't get to see the folks that I normally get to see down there, but yeah, it was a great time, and but glad to be back here in the ATLP studio, because we've got a lot of work to do between now and July, when I head out to Deschler and I take a ride in that Lincoln, and I can't wait to do that.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it's got new tires at least, yes. So.
All right, it'll be a good, comfortable ride.
Awesome. And we'll try to clean up the dog hair that's always
yeah.
everywhere inside the car.
We'll deal with that.
Yeah.
And what, Mike and Jeff, I saw you guys caught the 1616, the Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That's right.
Jeff was actually working that Saturday, right?
Yeah, I was actually scheduled to be in the store, and I called mom into stay in. It's like, hey, can you run the store? I want to go see this thing.
Yeah, Dad was helping me at my house with some home improvement projects. All of a sudden, we get this phone call that says, hey, the Lincoln's going to be in wherever, Fairbury here in like 20 minutes. It's like, okay, come pick us up, right? And we put all our tools away, and all of a sudden Jeff's standing there over our shoulder. It's like, okay, it's time to go. So,
yeah.
That's very
cool.
cool.
So how far do you guys have to go see that? Where's the UP run close to Deschler?
It's just 12 miles north of us.
Yep.
For the Marysville subdivision. So
yeah, so the Marysville sub runs from North Platte down to Kansas City. So it's one of their major routes of the Red X. So we get about 25 trains a day through there.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we have a virtual rail cam, not a virtual rail cam, sorry,
Steel
Highways cam on the Marysville sub that we sponsored. So we watch that a lot here at the store. So that's our way to watch trains. So we surprise customers every once in a while. We'll turn the volume up just enough that when they're blowing for the crossing, everybody's like, where's a train in Deschler, right?
All their faces go right to the front windows, and they're looking outside like,
and we're all turned around looking at the TV screen. But it's a good time. We had all the customers love it. We love it. So
awesome.
Actually, what Mom was telling me, right? You had a group of guys up from Wichita for a customer appreciation day.
Yep.
Here on Saturday that drove up to our rail cam.
They did. Well, the rail park. That's
or the rail park, and
watched a couple trains and waved at the camera to us. So.
That's very cool.
Good time. Cool. Served some hot dogs too. So I missed out, as they say. I planned the whole event this last Saturday, but I had to run away to a graduation. But Jeff and Christy cooked like 50 some hot dogs or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
So
yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was a good weekend.
That was very cool. That was the customer appreciation weekend, and you had prizes too and everything, right? I think I saw your mom drawing some names out for prizes. That you posted.
Yeah, we got to finish our drawing. Our drawing's actually going to happen tomorrow, so we got a bunch of people in there, but we're giving away a Bachmann train set, and then one of our 25th anniversary KD cars. So we had several people sign up for both of them, and we did that. And I guess the big surprise of our fun event
was the Elf on the Shelf, is what we called it. So Mike and I, and then his daughter Alyssa, have been scanned by models, and then he always provides a larger figure,
like an O scale size figure.
Oh, it's way bigger than that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, he's
big.
They're pretty
an action figure.
They're kind of
look sweet,
about that tall. So we hid them around the store, and if you found them, you got $10 off your purchase.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was fun. Everybody was looking, and we had a couple little boys that just were desperate to find. Had to find one. So
did they find one?
Yeah, they found one. They were pretty fired up. So.
That's really cool.
So we had a good time with that. Mom came up with that idea, so it sounded like people had a blast.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Cool. That's awesome. We should do that again. That is a neat idea to put around the store like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
very cool.
We're gonna have to get more figures though, because Jeff and I get tired of getting dropped and broken and
stuff, so. I got dropped and I don't have any feet anymore.
Oh,
it's a personal attack, right?
It
My
happens.
guy's out there
That
standing
happens.
with no hand anymore. So.
Oh man, I kind of remember that. I think with like my Planet of the Apes figures, that like one guy he'd lose his gun or lost a hand. It's like, well, it's a tough life. So yeah, there you go.
Just happens.
Oh wow. So Ray and I are going to be up for it's right after the 4th of July weekend. That 4th of July is on Friday this year, and then 5th, 6th is Saturday, Sunday, and that's the 25th anniversary of the Spring Creek
Yes,
being in
25th.
business. Yeah, wow.
Isn't that crazy? Can you believe that? I just Mom.
Where did the time
when
go?
that started? It started in our old house that we lived in, where Jeff lives now, and all of a sudden they're out at train shows, and we'd come home for Christmases, and all the new shipments would be piled up on all the couches and the chairs. There's no spot to sit in the house, and then an extra bedroom turned into the store. It was the store. Yeah, it had just bookcases full of stuff, and
wow.
Then you came down and got this going, what, 10, 11 years ago?
Yeah, that's probably about right. 11 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And now we're both back.
And now we're both here. Yes, we are.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. It's awesome. It's cool what Mom and Dad did, and we're excited to be a part of it and keep her going. So
make her bigger.
Cool.
Yeah, well, it's just fun being a part of model trains, right? Some days it becomes a lot of work, right? And model trains become no fun, but then you get up the next morning and it's fun again. So.
Yes, yeah. No, it is. It is. I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely. Well, very cool. The show information is on the website, I think, for those dates, as is the train shows too. If you go to the Spring Creek Model Trains website, you can find the events and exclusive models and all that kind of good stuff. So, and we've got some new products to take a look at here today. Ray, do you want to hang around and go through the new products?
Yeah, let's see what you got going on new, and then maybe in a little bit we can also talk about what we got planned for the 4th of July. But let's see some new products. I want to see some new stuff. Let's bring that up. That's what's always fun. Let's see if we can get my wallet out here.
See here. I've just got a few things because I knew we'd be talking about the upcoming show. These are some pictures that Jim Wiggins shared with me recently. This is the latest run of Athearn Genesis HO scale GP40 P-2s, and they did some really awesome. As you can see, this is certainly not as delivered, but
isn't that great? That's a cool patch. Really.
Yeah, very well used patched one of these. And there's a couple of different ones. I think I'm trying to remember if it was in this scheme or the regular lettering, but the first time I saw one of these units was out in Nebraska someplace, western Nebraska, and it was like guarding one of the grain elevators. How there's always would be a low. And I remember my dad and I both kind of being dumbfounded at, wow, isn't that those steam generator equipped Jeep 40s that were bought for like California, passenger service? And here it was sitting at a grain elevator. This would have been like, I guess, early 80s or so.
That's awesome.
It was awesome to see that. But this is the late era speed letter for it. And then in this run too of Genesis GP40-2s, there's the L, the wide nose, which I really like this main central scheme. That's sharp looking.
That is very cool.
Yeah. Yep.
And then there's some regular GP40-2s. I really like this DT&I with the bell in its nose is pretty awesome. But this whole group is, I think they've shipped now. I've seen samples on a couple of them. You guys have those in stock yet?
Those in stock,
Awesome. Class 1 Model Works announced Santa Fe CE3 cabooses, and these are some pictures that they shared with me of some of the early samples. They've got in the like mineral red paint for 500 series and 2200 series. These are the peaked roof of these Santa Fe way cars. And then again, they're doing, as you saw that first one, the Santa Fe in the red with the big yellow herald on the side. LED lighting, lots of detail. I mean, I think these are going to be really neat.
Motor.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And that's Class 1 Model Works, and those are up for reservation now. So if you can look and see what numbers and paint schemes are coming on that, and you guys can take reservations on those,
we'll take
you do everything. Yeah.
Hey, Tony, go back to the if you can go back a couple photos. What is that up around the roof? That white? Is that
Oh.
is that antenna? Is that what is that?
what is that?
This
detail?
is hand railing across around the cupola, and then the table has got a can antenna up on top is what that is. So that's an antenna
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
parked on the top.
Okay.
Yeah. But there, it's a really neat group, and I remember reading what this was, and I wrote it up for Model Road News, and now I can't remember. So I'll learn again when I get the magazine, like, oh,
There you go.
that's what that is.
Just like the rest of us.
But
Do you read it after you write it, Tony? I figured you would know it backwards and front. It's kind of like, do I listen to the podcast after I edit it, right?
Generally, I'm always quick to open up one of the magazines, look at it, and make sure, like, I got everything, fixed and correct, that there's no, like, big yellow type that says picture is going to go here. Because after a while you get used to looking at that, and sometimes it can be, oh yeah, I got to find that picture now. So
Right.
I'm always happy when there's no big, like, highlighted, need to fix this image, like, oh,
Yep.
and I haven't done it yet, but you never know. I think that's a generator box is what this is down in here, but I may be wrong
Okay.
on that. And these lantern lights on the older versions will be illuminated as well. Should be just really a sharp model. And both HO and N scale, I'm kind of excited on this. These are the Rapido train center beams.
Yep.
And then this is kind of an exploded like shot showing the loads that they're going to make for them. And these will be molded plastic sections. And what I like about this is I've seen these before, but this allows you to like stack and make them, different heights that I've seen these, but it's always the typical, full load. Yeah. So this, you can put like 1 or 2 rows in, but you always got to remember to stack them evenly so the car doesn't tip sideways.
Over, Find it on the side of the track.
Exactly.
I recently had those boys on from Rapido Trains, Jason Schron and Jordan Smith, and I asked them, how many combinations can you make out of the loads? And they couldn't count it. So it is a really great concept to be able to, use magnetized and be able to take them on and off, especially for those that like to operate and want to get that realistic look of a load going in and then an empty coming out. So very, very cool idea.
That is very cool. Those are coming out for the new run of center beams in both HO and N scale from Rapido. Also from Rapido, and wow, they're even doing the track for this. This is the Chicago Transit Authority Bud L commuter cars, and this elevated track stuff. They're going to be making this as well. So you can buy these track sections to have an elevated system to go with this. And of course, being Rapido, these will be powered with the motors are down in the truck, so the entire interior can have detail without, there'll be no mechanism showing through the windows, lighting, all that kind of stuff. But just crazy. And I'm surprised, when they first started doing some of these, I thought, well, I don't know if guys would buy, commuter stuff. Like, are they, like, yeah, it's a train, but it's not the same as the trains we see or, every day. But I think they've been very popular. The BART and the other stuff they've done has sold really well. So, and this is kind of neat with the elevated track. So, very awesome.
Well, the Chicago Transit Authority and how Rapido likes to hide those hidden sounds. I wouldn't be surprised if you hit like F23 and got 25 or 6-4, right? Or something playing, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Real Chicago.
I was thinking Go Cubs Go is what I was thinking.
Yes, there you go.
That too, yeah.
And this is also from Rapido. This is that new Southern Pacific prototype 3/4 length dome car coming in HO. And they've announced this for N-scale too. There's going to be an N-scale model of this, but these are early shots of the HO model. SP Daylight, this SP and its UP Armor Yellow stuff when they had the trains with the Northwestern. And then, of course, we saw Amtrak there up front. Full interior and lighting. I mean, it's just crazy. And the Amtrak one even has that one wall, has that 70s Amtrak map of the U.S. is on the wall there. So really awesome. But beautiful car. And amazing to think that's going to be, a plastic, ready to
Are there
run.
any of those still in existence? 3/4 domes?
I don't think they're in service.
Somebody's got it,
But I think so. Yeah, I'd have to look that up. Maybe somebody watching would know that. But yeah, I believe so. But boy, it looks like a beautiful car.
Oh yeah.
And then also from Rapido, surprise, this General Electric E44 which is different from when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, I remember that's the one Bachmann Spectre model I always wish they do again. And now that was the
Right.
E33. This is the E44, which is a slightly newer take and a little bit bigger on this style, but really awesome with the tri-mount trucks. These were Penske, then Penn Central, Conrail, and then Amtrak operated them for a while. And I think New Jersey Transit maybe had them in between or somewhere like that. And they're even doing a fantasy Amtrak Phase 3 scheme, which I need to ask Jordan, but I think that's one of the first times they've done a what-if paint scheme on a Rapido model. But this should be this really neat piece. And naturally, no Rapido. I remember that, was it the EP5 or one of those? The pantograph would raise and lower with a button on the DCC controller. I mean, it was really awesome.
It's cool.
So yeah,
and it's not the first. They've done
Railroad of Lies.
They call it Railroad of Lies.
Oh, that's right.
ROLA.
That's right. Yeah, we've talked to But
So
these are
some fantasy freight cars
before, yeah. But this is up for reservation here now. But yeah,
every day.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
I know. Yeah, isn't it always?
Tangent cars. Yeah,
Tangent just rolled out a new run of these Thrall 60-foots. You kind of got a nice group of different looks for those with the Milwaukee Road Frisco, 2 versions on the Santa Fe, and then that fairly contemporary Canadian Pacific is the one coupled up to the Frisco car there. But boy, that's a beautiful car. And those, as Tangent does, are out now and available. So
we got our shipment on its way to us.
Okay, I was going to say, I think I saw my sample arrived in Texas, so I just missed it. But I will be going back down here soon to pick it up.
I will tell you, when Tangent releases something, you better grab a hold of it. You better get a hold of Spring Creek and get that order in, because those Southern cabooses and the NS cabooses.
Oh man!
And then I saw on eBay, like now that they're hard to find, the price of them are going astronomically. It is unbelievable how fast the demand for them. So get your order in right now for anything you want from Tangent.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy on there.
The other was that what was that PS hopper they did last month with a rock? That one was gone in 8 hours.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that one I missed too. Yeah, I didn't get one of those fast enough. I forget what I ended up getting, but yeah, that blue, and it's like gone. It's like wow. So this stuff does sell quick. Yeah.
And David won't tell anybody. Tony and I tried bribing him, begging him, everything. He just they will not let any of the secrets out. They will wait, and then boom, here it is, and it's for sale. It is wild.
Out the door it goes. Yeah, absolutely. And now you guys have got, for the 25th anniversary, we've talked about it before, but you will have, or they're available now, the little Katie 2-bay Pullman Standard covered hopper decorated for Spring Creek is available.
We did that for Spring Creek, our 25th anniversary. So it's a special run car. We ended up picking that car because, it typically, at least in its years, right, or certain prototypes hauled cement. And that's part of what our dad grew up doing. Our mom helped him for years. Jeff and I grew up doing that. I mean, we'll still do it on projects around our houses, right? So, and lay or pour our own cement. So kind of a family tie, right? But a pretty cool car. Had several friends help us out, come up with the graphics on the side of it and stuff. So that was a pretty fun, interesting challenge, coming up with the non-prototypical paint scheme, right? So but you're trying to make, I know we're a hobby store, right? But we try to make the paint scheme to where it's not embarrassing if it shows up on a train, as you're running it around.
It looks good. I mean, that to me
was always our thought.
It looks sharp, and you could mix it in with anybody's road names, and it would look good.
That's what we were thinking, is kind of match the prototypes so as best we could. So but it's cool. I know Jeff rode some on his Fremo, right? So
from the other guys. The other guys have done.
Yep.
I don't have one yet.
No.
So
we'll get you one.
We'll get one someday.
I know a guy.
So, the other thing we had happen is we had our sales rep at Scale Trains reach out to us, and he had found
Oh,
some more of
yeah.
our custom hoppers from them, which were the Cornhusker
Oh
Co-op.
yeah.
So there's
Kind of a
we got some
warehouse
more
hauling.
in,
Yeah.
more available. So if you're looking for some still, or you missed out on, I think it was Clay Center was the fast one. We have more of those. So
Yep. They just hit our website last week.
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So they're out there. So that was fun. So yeah, shout out to Scale Trains and Marlin there to finding some of those in their warehouse for us.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yep,
And
that
that's
was
what
awesome.
4780, I think.
That's right. That is the right car.
3 bay, and what there's there that co-op farmers elevator with the city of Nebraska. Did you have two? There was what, an orange?
Yep, the orange one was Fairmont, Nebraska, and then a green one, which is Clay Center, Nebraska.
Oh, cool.
Both of them are, I don't know, around here they're stones throw away, so they're not too far.
Yeah.
Both were on the BN, right?
Yes.
Clay Center is no longer, the branch line got pulled up, but Fairmont's still on the main line that the Zephyr runs. So the California Zephyr.
Yep. And what else we got?
Oh man, I don't.
We got a whole list of some new people coming.
Yeah, we got vendors coming, so we're pretty excited about that. We got the one I'm really excited about. Been working with the Scale Signs is going to be at our show here in the July 25th or anniversary show. So he's working on a cool billboard. So it should be a neat billboard that he's coming up with for the show. So that's coming. But excited about that. Excited we got our first order in with him, so things are should have that around. Let's see, we got Nick's trains, the mother
replacement motherboards.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so, Nick Santo from Nick's Trains.
Nick
That's
Santo,
awesome. Yeah, Nick, that's great.
Yeah, he's driving out. So we got Soundtracks coming, right? So he'll be here at As a Tracks will be here. So those are always going to be awesome. George is always fun there from Soundtracks to have around. ISE's coming. They'll be here displaying all their new stuff. I know they're getting really into the MSS world, so that will be here. Excited, first time for Broadway Limited.
Oh,
so Broadway Limited
very
will be
cool.
here. So we'll be talking with Ken, right? Love the opportunity to talk with Ken about the Lone Star, that they came out with in our exclusive run of the Nebraska special. So that'll be pretty sweet. Dan from Yelton. Will be here. Models. So he'll be scanning people, right? Making figurines and selling all his stuff. We got Value Trains. They're coming.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Derek's coming up there with his stuff. We're still talking with Microengineering. We're hoping they're going to be able to make it. So they got some things they're working on. See Intermountain. They're coming over from Colorado. So they're showing off all their new products. Cotto just called today. They're going to have a display table set up. Cool. So that'll be fun. We have Scale Trains. Marlin's pretty sure they're going to be coming. So Marlin will be representing Scale Trains here.
Yep.
He's done that several times. We've always had a good time when he's come. We've had a couple others, just, the nature of the world right now, right? Budgets have changed, right? And travel budgets for companies obviously is one of the first ones, to take a hit when things are changing. So we've had a couple back out because of travel budgets, but they're still supporting us, which is awesome, right? Door prizes are coming from all kinds of manufacturers. So we had a shipment show up today that confused several of us. That was a door prize that showed up.
Who ordered this?
Which is awesome. It's cool to see, right? We're having tremendous support from everybody. So that's the cool thing about what's out there. So
how many layouts we got coming?
That is going to be a bunch. So we got into the layout. So we actually, our high school gymnasium has finally got air conditioning for the first time last summer. So we have rented our high school gym plus their secondary gym. So we got two gyms, the activity center, and then our parochial school, our Lutheran school gym. So we are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 layouts right now.
Wow.
Maybe 12 will be here. So
I'm stuck on the fact that town is 747 people.
747, yeah.
And they've got 2 gyms in the, like, I grew up in a town of like 1,600 people and we only had one. You guys got 2 gyms. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, only one actual. Most of them are practice gyms, but
okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
it's a gym
one
nonetheless.
actual competition gym. So
Yeah,
We'll give you the
space. That's for sure.
We'll give you the full tour of the town, Ray.
All right.
right.
Oh, cool.
No
I
holds barred.
cannot
I'll
wait.
take you all around.
10 minutes. 10 minutes and you're done. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be riding in that Lincoln going, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly
awesome.
right.
We'll give you the whole cruise route so you know
There you
how to
go.
get her done. So.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, no, we're having a good time putting that together, and we're getting texts from several of the different layouts. They're getting excited about coming. So the most recent one we got from the N-Scale Fremo. So we weren't able to do an N-Scale Fremo setup on a separate weekend, so they're coming as part of the July 5th, but they're getting one of the gyms basically to themselves, but they got folks, I don't know, they're coming out as far as you are, Ray. We got guys from Delaware and New Jersey coming on that group, some maybe from the Northeast yet, and I don't even know how far west they're coming from, but they got a heck of a setup.
They got a nice layout going.
Very cool.
And they're always, that's so much fun to see. As I was walking around the Fremo about a month ago, I would get, hey, you want to operate a train? You know, somebody starting to hand me a control. Like, oh, nope, I'm going to go have a hot dog here with Dave, and I got the dog in the car, and I still got to go buy some trains. But it's like, hey, stay and operate trains for a bit. So it's
I had that. I was just at the N-Scale Ohio weekend out in the it was in Marion, so out by Columbus, but I was doing that. I walked by the Fremo, you know, heading to, you know, nature called, right? But hey, here's a throttle, run this train.
Yeah, run this train.
I stood and ran a train for a while. It was awesome because that's something I don't get to do when I'm at shows, right? You know, you're busy, you're working, right? So it's sweet when they do that, and it's a lot of fun. So
it is very cool. And that show especially is great because with all those manufacturers and those people there, you can get right up and talk to people. It's not like some of the big national shows that have like that same group of manufacturers. Somehow they all show up in Deschler for Spring Creek. And at that one, I can actually go up and, you know, talk to them, and they've got samples and stuff out there. So it's awesome. It is a really great experience and not to be missed.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Or we appreciate that, because the other thing we always hear is like, we draw the guys that are into it, right? It's not, if you're going to come to Deschler, right, for our show, right, you're into trains. So
You know,
and you're there to talk and chat and have a good conversation with them, and that's the fun part. Yeah, so that's right. I was just going to say, I'm sure I forgot people. Yeah, so Dumker is going to be there selling his DVDs, which are awesome. We've got a couple of them personally, right? Montana Rail Link and Tennessee Pass stuff. So
awesome.
And I know I missed some other ones. So we're going to fill the room, right? Be a little different than 2 years ago, which is okay,
which is great,
right? And this is what it's going to be. So
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the place to be. And I know I've been talking to some of our listeners, and a super fan of Spring Creek model trains, Devin Jackson's talking about he's going to haul the whole camper up to Deschler and make a weekend out of it. So, and I'm sure many more. I mean, that is going to be the place to be on 4th of July weekend.
Yep, it should be a good time. So yeah, Devin will be up. He's always a good time when he comes up.
Oh yeah,
got a bunch of other guys from Texas on their way, so it's gonna be crazy. Our little town fills up with all the RV spots too that we have in town. It'll be full.
Yeah, for sure. I see a comment from Terry Poole about that Intermountain twin stack car, and yes, I keep asking because I want more of them too. So hopefully one of these days they'll do it.
Yep, we're gonna see. Maybe we can make it happen.
Well, if Terry makes his way out to Deschler, Nebraska, maybe we can just stand and protest in front of the Intermountain until
There you go.
they agree to do it, right? You know, that's
right.
So yeah, make the trek out and come see them and make your stand. So
Ray, we're excited to have you and Tony come out too. So
yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. We've got big plans. We've been talking about what we're going to do. We're going to be your media for that event. We're going to cover a lot of the announcements that are going to be made at the Spring Creek 25th anniversary, and looking forward to interviewing some folks. We'll have some live events going on as well, along with some recorded content that we'll bring back and put out on the podcast. So stay tuned to all of our channels for that. We're going to try to simulcast that both on the Spring Creek page and on the Around the Layout podcast page. So you can watch in both places, whether you're a fan of the podcast or a fan of Spring Creek model trains or both. You'll be able to access that content. And Tony Cook, I'm sure we'll be pulling you over onto the mic, and we'll be doing some stuff with Tony as well. So got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm looking forward to being there. I've been gearing up. I've got microphones and other kinds of gear and all that stuff ready to go to Deschler, Nebraska. Get that trunk ready, Tony. We got a lot of stuff to pack into it as we head up to Deschler, and so that we can make sure we can get, if we're hoping, I mean, the place to be is there live, but if you can't make it out, we're going to make sure that you're brought to that 25th event and you get to see a lot of the fun stuff that's going on there.
That's awesome.
We will make it.
Make sure you leave a little bit of space in your trunk, right? You got to take something home with you.
I could always ask him to mail it to me too.
Well, that's true.
So
that's
yeah,
true.
if I go crazy, it's always, hey, put all that in a box and send it to me. Although, we'll make it. The graduation we just had in NAC, I kept saying, do we need to take both cars? Because aren't we taking Nick out of the dorm? No. He says he's only got a couple of bags of things. So we go to the graduation, everything goes great. We go to dinner and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, so he's just got a couple of bags. Yeah, he's just got to get this up, be right back down. By about the fourth or fifth trip, we are all to the point of holding things in our lap. And it's like, I can't hold something in my lap and drive. So, yeah. And I said, really? You said he only had like two? Well, I should have watched it a little closer the week before when I was trying to get everything together. But yeah, so I'm good at getting a lot of stuff in that car. So.
But is this leading to me potentially having to hold a box in my lap from Deschler all the way back to Kansas City with all your stuff that you bought in it?
It can happen. I remember a St. Louis RPM not that many years ago, and there was also a train show, I think, at Belle Claire there in the St. Louis area that same weekend as the RPM. And I did get a little crazy, bought a lot of stuff. And I remember as we were coming back up from Collinsville to Jerseyville to my folks, Shane saying, we got to fit Bandit in here for the way back. And like, we just barely had a spot between, we had the seats down in the car. I had stuff all the way. It's like I'd found a couple of train sets and bought some like boxes of stuff. I had so much junk that, we just barely squeezed the dog in. So it can happen.
Well, just make sure you can squeeze me back in. I mean, I'm going to have a good time in Deschler, but I do want to go home at some point. So just don't leave me behind, because, I don't want to have to get shipped home from Spring Creek model trains with a UPS label on my forehead,
I would say we'll just dig out the baling twine and tie things to the roof.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll get it figured out.
It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. That's July 5th, July 6th, right after the 4th of July, just a bit over a month away. 25th anniversary for Spring Creek model trains. I'm so excited. Guys, what's the website and the telephone number so people can have their own personal shopper?
The website is springcreekmodeltrains.com.
Yep.
And the phone number is 402-365-7628.
What's the newest thing going out on the web right now?
The newest thing is
newest for us going out there. It might not be new in the world.
Newest for us is I am working on our HO Atlas in stock products right now. And I've gotten, I believe, 5 different product lines out there right now.
Oh, cool.
New to the website. So if you haven't, check those out.
Yeah. So those are old runs, new runs, right? Just working through one by one, getting them out there. So yeah, definitely be out there checking them.
Very cool. Very cool. Always check the website for shows that are coming up. exclusive models, and all that other kind of good stuff, guys. So thanks so much for your time, Ray. Thanks for being on with us today. And a reminder, I believe, Ray, what your upcoming podcast will have Mike and Jeff and myself for the new product show, right?
That is correct. And you can check all of that out at aroundthelayout.com. And by the way, I'm on the website right now ordering one of those Evans 4780s. So
Nice.
Cool.
There you go.
They are sharp looking. They are sharp
They
looking.
are that.
Well, awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. And remember, mark your calendars. July 4th weekend, 25th anniversary, Spring Creek Model Trains. Everybody have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
bye,
everybody.
everybody.